Do you want to know how you can use AI to earn faster and more efficiently when you are taking paid service and doing paid user tests online? Then this video is for you. My name is Michael and I made money online for years, and I have started using AI to become more efficient whenever it is possible. And therefore I have made a series where I show how you can use AI to speed up your earnings when you are doing small online microtasks. And this is number 3 in this series. I will leave a link also below to the full playlist. And in this video here, we will focus on how you ethically and legally can use AI to earn faster with paid service and user testing. So let's just jump straight to it and start with paid service. And after that, we'll go over how you can use AI to earn more efficiently with user testing. And paid service is one of the absolute easiest and fastest way to start earning some extra money on this side. But with AI, there are some aspects that can become even more efficient. What is very important to be aware of is that you cannot get AI to just take the service for you for several reasons. First of all, it goes against the terms of the different service companies, because the responses would of course be useless if it didn't come from real consumers and if it wasn't real feedback from real human beings. So that's one aspect. Another aspect is that you also have to think a little bit long term, that if people started actually doing that, then service companies would just stop using paid service and then you would not be able to earn anymore. So that's another aspect. And thirdly, also the companies of course know that some people will try to cheat, so they have different aspects, different things that they are using, different systems to find out if people are using AI to do the full service for them. So that is not what I will teach you, because that's not something that is really realistic or ethical. But AI can help you in an ethical way to still earn more with paid surveys. So let's go over the ways AI can help you do this. So one way you can, for example, use AI is to use a tool like ChatGPT or one of the many other AI tools, and you can just use the free versions for this also. And that is to, for example, use it to summarize certain things, because there are some surveys that have really long descriptions or different criteria that explain, and then you can just use ChatGPT or a summarization tool to quickly read the instructions or descriptions and generate a short summary, because this helps you decide faster whether the survey is worth your time or if you meet the criteria without having to sit there and read maybe through 1 or 2 pages, which sometimes can be the case for higher paying surveys. So that's one way to save a lot of time for the higher paying surveys. The second method is to use ChatGPT or any other AI tool, for example, to speed read, because there are sometimes surveys that have long text passages to read. And of course, it's important that you actually understand the questions, but you can still use AI summarizations to quickly grasp the main points. And this can just really speed things up and also make sure that you understand it. Sometimes maybe if the language is not your native language even. A third way you can use something like ChatGPT or another AI tool is if you are asked open-ended feedback, because especially at the end of some service that is often the case. And then you can use AI to brainstorm how to structure these responses. You can just explain, say, oh, I just took a survey about this is my opinion, can you help me structure this or write a draft for it? The final answer of course must be yours. That's important to again emphasize, but it can very quickly summarize your thoughts if you have a hard time doing that, so it still becomes very good reply with your actual opinion. Another way to use AI for service is, for example, an auto-translate plugin. And this is particular if you, for example, live in a country where you do not necessarily speak the native language, because surveys are often in the language of the country you're located in. So if you live in a country where you don't speak that, then I get this question all the time: how can I make sure that the surveys are in English? Well, most platforms that's not really possible to choose, but then you can use something like a Google translate plugin, and you can just get it to translate the different questions, even if it's not in your native language. And you can even also sometimes get help to translate it if there are answers or if there's open-ended questions where you need to write a little bit more. And AI translation tools are becoming better and better. So in the past, where it was usually really crap, then now it's often a very good answer, good understanding. And if you translate the questions they ask you, you will very often be able to understand it. But it doesn't work for all service. That's important to make you aware of. But again, it can be a way to make sure you can earn even if there's a survey not in your native language. The last aspect where you potentially can use AI when taking surveys is something like Grammarly. Grammarly helps with grammar, and it is a tool I use every single day a lot. And it helps you to have the correct grammar and not to spend too much time going through that, because having proper language in longer open-ended replies is very important, because that also shows that you actually know what you're talking about. I just have Grammarly installed. They also have a free version that is really great, so I just have it installed. Whenever I write online, it actually checks it, and it just have saved me from so many grammatical errors and mistakes. So this is definitely a tool that I recommend that you have either this tool or a similar tool installed. So these are the main ways that I've so far have come across or come up with where you can use AI to earn more and better with paid surveys. And if you have any other ideas, if you used any of them and have any opinion about them, I would love to hear that in a comment below. So please leave your comments there. And also, if you want to earn the most with paid service, it's of course extremely important that you choose the right sites for your country. And I do have a list of the best service sites in many different countries. I will leave a link to that below. So let's now move on and talk about AI and user testing. So in case you don't know what user testing is, it is where you in many cases have to test an app or a website. You get a certain task and then you record your screen and you speak your thoughts out loud, and often you then need to give a little bit of written feedback at the end also. And usually it pays quite well to do these user tests, and it can be quite fun. So how can AI then help you with tasks like this? Again, it's important to be aware that AI cannot do all the work for you. They do need real feedback from real human beings, but it can help speed certain things up in an ethical way. So let's talk about the methods that I have so far come up with. So first of all, you can use AI to script your feedback. If you're, for example, struggling to articulate feedback, you can quickly just write down some bullet points from ChatGPT on what typical usability issues to look for. So you just ask ChatGPT about that, you will get some replies or some bullet points so you're aware of this, and that can help you become more thorough during the actual test. So that's a really useful way to get help to prepare you for the tests. Again, whether it's useful for you or not really depends how easy it is for you, but if it isn't easy, then AI can help you with a lot of things like this. So the second thing is that it can help you to summarize findings, because some platforms, they ask for a written summary of your feedback, and you can just run your notes, for example, through an AI tool to organize them into better paragraph or different paragraphs and sections. And the great thing about AI is you just don't really have to think about how you write it. You can just do it as you would talk and just write down, say like, okay, this is what I'm looking for. I would like to summarize this. And then it gives you, in many cases, a great draft that you just have to adjust a little bit. Another important thing when you are doing user tests is to have a profile, and you usually have to write something in that profile. So if you have a hard time articulating, again, you can just say in your own words to AI who you are and that you need a profile for this particular user testing platform, for example, and that you would like a draft for it, and then it will spit that out. You can even say like it needs to be 300 words or something like that, and then it will give you a draft in a matter of seconds. And then again, just always make sure to make it your own, but it can save you a lot of time if you're struggling with things like this. I know some people, they really hate writing something like that, and for a short profile that maybe is 100 words or something like that, it can take them hours to do. But if you just ask AI to help you formulate it, it can be done in a matter of minutes. And these are so far the ways that I have come across where you ethically and legally can use AI to become more efficient when doing user tests. If you have other experience with any of these other ideas, I would love to hear them in a comment below. So just please comment below. And also, if you want to know more about the best user testing sites, because you in general should use more user testing sites because there are often limited options on each site. So if you join more, there are more opportunities. So I will leave a link below to a list I have on my website of the best user testing platforms. And as I mentioned at the beginning, this is a part of a series. This is number 3 in a series of how you can use AI to earn more efficiently with online microtasks. So if you want to watch the others where I go more in depth to other methods and how you can use AI for those ways of earning, then make sure to check out that below. And also make sure to hit the like button if you like this video, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss out next time I release a video with tips and tricks about different ways to make money online.